Hello friends and enemies, welcome back to Happy For Now. It's me Isabel here with a very special video today. My mom is joining us to talk about her favorite books of 2021 as well as answer a few questions that I got for her on Instagram and from my members in Discord. So we're gonna jump right into that Q&A and then I'll be back here at the end to wrap this all up.
All right, we're gonna start with the Q&A section. Okay. So I think the best thing to say is, hi, this is my mom, this way. I'm bad at directions on this. And we're here to talk about her favorites of 2021 and her to answer a few questions I gathered from Instagram and my Discord with my members and just talk about some of the books you loved last year. So first things first, let's talk about your romance history, which is something I've talked about with people many times, and I think it's always a fun story. So tell us how you started reading romance, Mom.
I was 12 or 13, and my mom had the paperback book of The Flame and the Flower laying on the cupboard. I thought it looked good, and I started secretly reading it. Whenever she wasn't around, I would read it, and I loved it. I've not ever reread it yet, though.
Yeah, I don't know how well it holds up. It's probably an interesting relic of history, I feel like, to revisit. So you've been reading romance for a very long time now, I feel like, at this point. So it's probably been interesting too to watch the genre evolve and grow. Because we don't have a lot of, like, I mean, we do have people who have done that, but I feel like, you know, it's not as many people as you might think.
Yeah.
But I've been reading it as long as you have. Do you have a daily reading routine?
I guess I always try to read at night in bed on my Kindle, but mostly I'll listen to audiobooks during the day. But I'm not really a routine because every day changes.
Yeah, I feel that. I'm the same way. I like try at night. Like right now at night, I'm not reading because moving and I'm exhausted by the end of the day. Has either of your reading tastes changed over the years? Like you used to read more of one genre before getting into romance?
I'm trying to think. I've always read mystery. Once I found romance, that I read more sci-fi now, probably not like deep sci-fi, but some.
You read like low sci-fi, I would call it.
Yeah.
Like not heavy.
No.
But yeah, I mean, I agree. Like I read, I think if anything, like before I got into romance in college, like, and I read like YA romance stuff, but before I got into like adult romance, I was trying to find my genre. So it was like high fantasies and weird books that I thought were what I should be liking as an adult. And then I found romance and it was like, yes, this is it. So I feel like mine's evolved, but I felt like it was a natural evolution of figuring out that I didn't have to read the things everyone thinks you should be reading or the other like genre fiction pieces.
Yeah.
Okay. This is one of my favorites that we got asked, which is which books have you both ranted about together? And we both have one very specific one that came to mind. Yes. And it's called Meddling Kids by Edgar Cantero. I DNF'd it because you finished it and told me how bad it was.
It was the worst. Okay. I gave it a 2-star.
Which this is big.
I was being
Mom
kind.
Mom does not give 1 stars, and 2 stars. That takes a lot.
Yeah, it was terrible.
I
kept waiting for it to get better.
I know, and it was pitched as like Scooby-Doo, but a book form, and it was not. It did not have the same fun like things that Scooby-Doo has, and it was so disappointing. It was so disappointing. And I'm sure there's other ones that we've complained about, but it's been a long time.
Yeah.
That we've both had a book we hated. Usually one of us doesn't like something and tells the other one about it, so we avoid it.
And then I avoid it.
Yeah. And then if not, like I feel like we'll be like, oh, I loved this. You should read this, which often happens. So who are some of your favorite authors?
Kathleen E. Woodwith, Rosemary Rogers, Cressley Cole, Jacqueline Winspear, Stephen King, Sarah MacLean, just to name a few.
I feel like that's pretty comprehensive of like who you read a lot of still. So
yeah.
Oh, this is a good one, and I think the answer is no. But have you tried any of the weird alien or monster romance books I read?
No.
So I guess I have to give Mom a TBR.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Am I gonna like them?
Maybe. I like them. I think you'd probably like Lillian Lark. Hers are like paranormally. They kind of give me Cressley Cole vibes. I mean, you read Cressley Cole, which to an
Yeah, I
extent, I mean,
like
the
Cressley
first book,
Cole, yeah.
he chews his leg off to get to his mate. I mean, like Cressley Cole, like
Who
is
wouldn't?
here, and then like the monsters, some of them are like here, so they're not. It's not a big
Okay.
leap. I think you could, you might. I don't know. I'll have to put together a list. If y'all have any suggestions on what monster romances you think I should have my mom read, let me know, and then I'll have her come back and talk about them. Next is what was I like as a kid, and I feel like I've never been less honest about me as a child. My brother was the athlete, and
You were
I
the
was the nerd.
bookworm. You were the nerd bookworm.
Yeah, like I was the kid that would read in a corner. I would sit at my brother's sport things and read, and I would sit and play my Game Boy.
Yep, you'd play games. You were the child that we would go to the store and you wanted to get books or workbooks
Mm-hmm.
or a computer learning game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you were like.
So drop my phone. Yeah, I'm pretty transparent on this fact. Like I was a big nerd as a kid. I just was not very dissimilar from how I am now.
Yeah.
What is a book that you want me to read that I haven't yet?
Good question. Well, you probably should read one of the older romances. I don't know if you have read any of them. You know, from the beginning.
Not the 70s ones, no.
That's what
I've read
I mean.
80s. I know I want to read your lenticular cover that you have, Everlasting.
Oh yeah, you should read that.
I want to read that,
like
which is a
book.
ghost romance from the early 90s.
Everlasting. Yes.
Is it late 90s? Or no, not late 90s, late 80s?
Mid 90s, I think, yeah. Or I don't know.
I remember because I had to go buy you a copy on eBay because you lost your copy.
Yeah.
And that was a good find. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like we trade books a lot and we share library cards. So often I'll finish an audio and I'm like, hey, you should listen to this. And
yeah,
usually we do that a lot, like a lot. More often than you might think. We are swapping those around.
Yeah.
So let's dive into your 9 favorite books, I think is where we landed.
No, I think it's 10.
Is it 10? Did you find a 10?
Yes.
Last we talked, you were at 9. So your 10 favorite books.
Okay. Right. Start anywhere?
Start anywhere. What's your first pick?
Okay, I've got my notes here. So, Crying in H Mart, Michelle Zauner. I think that's how you pronounce her name.
Mm-hmm.
It's a memoir. It's about her growing up as a Korean American. And then when she's like 25, finding out her mother has cancer and dealing with all that and her memories of going back to Korea to visit family and just growing up in America and going to H Marts, of course, and around food. And it was a great book.
It was so good. That was also in my favorites this year. All right, what's next?
Okay. Let's see. Thursday Murder Club. This is the first of 2 books in a series, and I just read the other one recently, but Thursday Murder Club is the first one. They're 4 friends who live in a retirement village. They're in their 70s, and they meet weekly in the jigsaw room at the retirement village to discuss, old crime,
cold cases,
like unsolved cases that are older. Then a local developer is found dead and they get involved in it, and then they start helping the policewoman to solve it. So it was just very cute. And I love the fact that it was about, older people. I
love an older person group solving murders because all I think about is Murder, She Wrote. And then I think about like that Angela Lansbury is totally the one committing all these murders and covering them up. And it's just a strange thought. What's your next pick?
This is part of a series also, but I'll talk about the first one because I read it in last year. Mm-hmm. It's the Kilts and Quilts series. It's To Scotland with Love. And I quilt. I know, old lady thing to do, but I've been doing it since I was like in my 30s. But it's about Kate, who actually, it starts out, she's an investigative reporter in Chicago, but her husband is found dead in their mistress's bed. So
Ooh.
to get away from all the troubles, and I mean, she heads back to Scotland, her birthplace, and she ends up meeting this guy who's, let's see, Graham Buchanan. He's actually a movie star, like, on the most people's most, gorgeous guy thing, and how she ends up falling in love with him. And the whole series is just in Scotland, different people coming to this little town and finding their way, and quilting, of course.
That's perfect. So it's like a cozy, but it's romance instead.
Romance cozy, yeah.
Yeah. It feels like it's just, it's got more romance here. All right. What is your next book?
Okay, Immortals After Dark series I started in 2021. And my favorite out of last year is Dark Needs at Night's Edge. I love that book.
It's such a good one.
It is. I mean, it's Naomi is a ballerina in the 1900s and is murdered. And she haunts her house.
Yep.
And then it's Conrad Worth. I can never remember his last name.
Yeah, I know.
He gets imprisoned in the house by his brothers, and he's the only one that can see her. So it goes on from there, and he ends up saving her, I guess I should say. I don't want to say everything, but yeah, I loved it.
It's the love story. It's such a good one. It's also one that if you haven't read the rest of the series, you can just read this book pretty easily,
yeah,
I think,
true.
and follow the story. So it's so good. It's so good. All right, and what's your next pick?
Window Shopping by Tessa Bailey. This I read right around Christmas, so it was perfect. I loved it. It's a holiday romance. Stella is standing in front of the window at, let's see, it's Viviant Department Store.
Yeah, something like that.
It's a made-up store in New York City. And she gets asked by a guy just standing there, what do you think of the window? And she tells him the truth. She does not like it. And, goes on to say what she would do. And this leads to, let's see, his name was
Aiden, yeah. I thought it was Adrian, but it's Aiden. It's Aiden, yeah.
And so it leads to him hiring her to redo the window and them falling in love. And it's just a cute, wintry romance. I liked it.
I liked that book a lot. Okay. What's your next pick?
Okay, Dial A for Aunties. Jessie Q. Santo?
I think so. I'm not sure how to say her last name.
I'm not either. But it just was cute and funny. It's an accidental murder on a blind date. An accident.
There's more to it, but yeah.
I know. She calls her mom and her aunts to help her get rid of the body. Well, at one point, the body does get shipped in a cooler that's supposed to hold cakes to an island resort wedding that they are doing the catering for. So just trying to get rid of the body. The book goes on and on. It's really cute mystery. I enjoyed it. It was different.
It was. I really enjoyed that book. It was. I know some of your other picks, so I feel like it lines up with them in this weird absurdist mysteries that we had this year.
Yeah. So I should probably say then Finley Donovan is killing it. That was another one that I liked. And that's Elle Casamano?
Yeah, Ellie.
Is it Ellie Casamano?
Yeah, something like that.
Is it Elle or Elle? I don't know.
Remember. It's one of those two.
Well, she's a single mom who's stressed out. She's also writes books and is overheard discussing the plot of her suspense novel at lunch with her agent and is mistaken for being a contract killer. And it goes on from there where she's hired to do a murder. But yeah, that one was quirky and fun and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's definitely for those of us who want a completely out of reality mystery
Oh,
or
yeah.
thriller, both of these.
Yeah.
Like, they're very, like, removed from reality. And they were so fun for that fact, I feel like. All right, what's your next pick?
The Madness of Crowds by Louise Penny. It's number 17 in the Inspector Armand Gamache series. This one is set like right after the pandemic in Three Pines, where a lot of them are set, but not all of them. And Inspector Gamache is hired to do security for a visiting professor. And he finds out this professor has some really repulsive ideas. I don't want to give away what they are, but it's not good. And he's hired to protect her, and he has to, even though he doesn't agree with her views. And of course, murder happens, and he has to solve it.
Interesting. I know you blew through that series. I feel like you started it in 2019 or 2020.
29. I think 2019, and I love those books.
I just remember you catching up on them very quickly.
Yeah, she's so good.
And then what's your next one?
One of your favorites. Into the Drowning Deep.
No.
Is it Mira, M-I-R-A, Mira?
Yeah, Mira Grant, yeah.
Mira Grant. Okay, 7 years ago, there was a voyage to the Mariana Trench, and they were filming a mockumentary on like sea creatures, legends, but are they legends? And the ship disappeared. So people wonder if it was a hoax but let's see, her name was Victoria Stewart. Her sister was on the boat, and she wants to uncover what happens. So they get a whole boat to go out again to find out what happened to these people in that drowning deep. It is, wow. Mermaid-alicious.
I'm good. I don't think I could handle
good.
that one. I know it's good. I just don't know if I could handle it. And then your last one, is that right? Are we on the last one?
Yes, on a very light note. Laundry Love, Patrick Richardson. I listened to this on audio. He has great family stories. He's hilarious, and he has laundry tips. And I now want to go to laundry camp.
I may have been recruited to go with my mom to laundry camp. But I also kind of want to go to laundry camp. I need to read it. I'm very interested in it. I know it's a strange concept, but I actually think, I don't know. I like a weird nonfiction like that. I think it sounds fun.
Yeah.
And you learned some new
stuff. It was good. Yeah.
And I'm assuming, like I said, you got some good tips on laundry care from it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It was a good book.
I can't wait for everyone to tell us that they're going to go read Laundry Love. But yeah.
No, they're not. No one's going to read it.
We'll see. But maybe people will, because you said no one will. So yeah, those were your top 10 books for 2021. I keep wanting to say 2022.
I know.
Thank
I
you
read
so much for joining me.
264 books.
You did. I did beat you by a lot, though.
I know, by a lot.
Everyone kept asking if I was winning this year's competition, and I did, and there's no more competition because I left you in the dust last year.
No, I just gave up.
It's fine. I'm 3 books behind schedule right now. You might be ahead of me right now for 2022. I'm not sure. I'm at here, go check where you're at.
I am 20 books in.
Okay. I'm at 22. I am still ahead, barely.
Yeah.
But yeah, so thank you so much for joining me, Mom. And if y'all want my mom to come back, let me know. I can maybe convince her. Maybe we'll do a monster TBR, and you can come talk about it if you like the monster books. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us.
Okay, I hope y'all enjoyed that. I am so excited she was willing to do this with me. We'd filmed a version, the file got corrupted on me on my import. I don't know what happened. It was a whole mess, and we just redid it, and I think it actually worked better this time around. She's definitely a little more comfortable on camera. I know it's nerve-wracking your first time. But yeah, it was so much fun to talk about this with my mom. I hope you enjoyed it. If there's a book you want me to read or you think you might read that she talked about, let me know in the comments. And if you don't want to do that, you can leave me a heart emoji down there as well. If you enjoyed this also, you can let me know if you want more content with my mom. I'm happy to try and bring her on occasionally. What else? I think that's it. There will be links to everything down below in that description box, as well as links to be my friend anywhere on the internet. And I will talk to y'all in just a few days. Bye.
Already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be. Life with no distractions. We'll get away.